Ernest Emerson was at a knife convention in 1986 when three muscular men approached him. They introduced themselves as a team of underwater welders. They were looking for someone who could design a knife for the harsh marine environment. They needed the best edged weapon engineer on the planet, someone with enough experience to make a highly specialized underwater blade. But as Ernie would later discover, these men weren't who they claimed to be. Emerson grew up in a hand-built log cabin in northern Wisconsin. At age 16, he began training in Korean judo. At age 17, he was drafted to a professional baseball team. Throughout his life, Emerson continued to hone his skills at hand-to-hand combat, ultimately earning a black belt in Shotokan karate. But above his athletic achievements, one passion always stood out: crafting the ultimate tactical edged weapons. His first self-made knife was a balisong pieced together from scrap metal. He had come across the style of blade at a martial arts school, but couldn't afford to purchase his own. Instead, he asked to borrow one and painstakingly recreated the design in his home garage. Although it didn't look like much, this knife was the start of a lifelong career that would change the landscape of cutlery forever. What began as a hobby soon blossomed into a company. Emerson moved on from balisongs to custom showpieces, small folding knives made of exotic materials, handcrafted into ornate designs. These are what collectors would describe as pre-tack Emerson knives, more of an artistic expression than a hardened tactical tool. But as time went on, he began to turn his attention to blades inspired by his martial arts training. From this was born the first lineup of Emerson tactical folding knives, the Viper. 5 uniquely tailored blades for police use, naval work, and hand-to-hand combat. It was around this time that Emerson met the 3 underwater welders at a convention in California. These men would later reveal that they weren't welders at all. They were members of the infamous SEAL Team 6, searching for the ultimate underwater fighting blade. They wanted something that was, if you'll excuse the wit, a cut above their standard issue Mark III Navy fixed blade. And with his decades of achievement, Emerson was obviously the best man for the job. What he came up with is known today as the CQC-6, standing for Close Quarters Combat. It was a chisel-ground Tonto blade, inspired by fellow knife maker Phil Hartsfield, designed to be both strong and easy to maintain, featuring a Walker liner lock and titanium hardware. Emerson would spend the next few decades expanding the CQC into an entire lineup of tactical folders, which became popular among law enforcement, military, and knife enthusiasts alike. But believe it or not, creating a knife for SEAL Team 6 was just the beginning of Ernest Emerson's legacy. His most famous invention, a proprietary design feature lauded in the knife world as revolutionary, is also the one that bears his name: the Emerson Wave. It originally started as a crude mechanism to stop an opponent's blade from sliding up the spine of the knife and drawing blood. A small hook, similar to the crossguard on ancient swords and daggers. But Emerson soon discovered that this element had another, far more powerful trait. When pulling the knife out of your pocket, at just the right angle and with just enough force, the wave would catch on the fabric, forcing the blade to flick open. By the time the knife had been brought up into a combat position, it's already been fully deployed and locked into place. This method of deployment was not only faster than the traditional one-handed thumb disc opener, but even surpassed the speeds of some high-tech automatic knives. Oh, and the fact it could serve as an impromptu bottle opener, well, that was just the cherry on top. The wave deployment feature has since become an iconic piece of nearly every blade Emerson makes. The success of Emerson's CQC lineup, as well as the incredible, albeit accidental, creation of the wave opening feature, has cemented Emerson as a staple of the tactical knife industry. His knives have become revered and feared around the universe. As his gravestone may one day say, he was a fighter, but looking back at his life's work, you could also call him an innovator. Hit the subscribe button to hear more knife stories like this. Thanks for watching.